Thrand here,
Hi, this is Eldgrim.
and I'm doing a reaction review of the Star Wars Episode 7 teaser trailer 2. A lot of people have been doing those, so I decided to do one as well.
Yeah, that's right. We're going to take a look at that trailer number 2 right now. And for those of you who aren't familiar with who we are, a couple months ago we did the crossguard lightsaber when it was first released to the public. There was a lot of conflict among people about will it work? Are they plasma blasters? Are they lightsaber crossguards or whatever the case may be? And so we determined they were crossguards and they were lightsabers. They were the plasma fields, and we tested to see if somebody would in fact be able to use it effectively and use it without injuring themselves, which is a huge argument. And we were successful with that video. I think it has like now what, 700,000 views or more.
We've actually done a series of tests now. We've done 4 of them. But we have one video, we have over 750 or 740,000 views. I can't remember how many. It's been going up rapidly.
And it's continuing to grow. And it still remains to be seen exactly what J.J. Abrams intends to do with that special lightsaber. But I'm very eager to find out. And for those of you who are just now joining us for the first time, let me give you a little review on who we are. We are experimental archaeologists. We participate in like living history. Basically, we eat, sleep, breathe, and live anthropology, cultural anthropology, biological anthropology, archaeology. We study artifacts, and that includes weapons, armor, and weapon systems, and martial arts and things of antiquity.
We do experimental archaeology, weapons testing, arms, armor, trying to recover old fighting techniques. We do a lot of historical stuff. Normally we don't do stuff on Star Wars and stuff like that that's fantasy, but since Star Wars is a long time ago in a galaxy far, far away, and one of my favorite movies of all time back in the day, the original Star Wars trilogy, I figured why not? I mean, we got people from Patreon that asked us to test the Star Wars lightsaber. We did that. We actually tested it out every way we could. We figured out ways of dipping the quillions of the crossguard in paint. And I like the idea of this new lightsaber because it reminds me of a European sword, a cruciform guard, or one with actually a crossguard, a two-handed, like a long sword or a bastard sword, hand and a half sword, great sword, old 13th century sword. It's very nice. I like the new design. I think it's refreshing.
You're absolutely right, Thrand. It is a really good change of pace from what we've seen in past Star Wars films. We had that sort of samurai, Japanese, Akira Kurosawa sort of theme going on. And, don't feel too bad about doing Star Wars, even though it's fantasy. Studying our art, film art, the art of storytelling, that's a form of anthropology. So by examining Star Wars, we're actually still performing our function as anthropologists.
I mean, technically it's history, right? I mean, I grew up loving Star Wars. I've always liked Star Wars. But anyway, we're going to do a review without waiting too long. I'll go ahead and start it. Starting now.
The Force is strong in my family. My father has it. I have it. My sister has it. You have that power too.
Merry Christmas, listeners.
Hell yeah.
That certainly was exciting. I love the part where Han Solo comes in there with Chewie on We're Home. That is awesome. I love Harrison Ford. As you can tell, I've got Indiana Jones in the background here on the wall. I've always liked Harrison Ford. Wow, that's all I can say. One thing I noticed is who is that character with the kind of doesn't look like a stormtrooper. He looks very chrome looking, like ultra chrome, like the stuff that's blaster and lightsaber resistant. Could that be Boba Fett? I mean, I've actually heard J.J. Abrams has said that Boba Fett may return in it. I've heard rumors of that, and that he likes the story where he fought his way out of the Sarlacc pit, and I believe Jabba was not actually dead from being choked out of that story. I have not actually read it myself, and that he finishes Jabba because Jabba tries to have him killed. But anyway, I don't know if he's going to do that, but I've heard that he said that everything that was canon or lore, you know, the old expanded universe that helps him tell his story, he will still use. He's just not going to use stuff that might interfere with it or contradict what he's doing or how he wants to do it. The other thing that strikes me interesting is it sounds like, you know, that's Luke's voice, but I mean, it sounds like a younger Luke. He doesn't sound like he does now, because now he does the Joker. You know, he goes to a lot of Comic Cons and stuff, Mark Hamill. And that's a good thing that we have all of them reappearing. We've got Carrie Fisher, Mark Hamill, Harrison Ford. A lot of the original cast is going to be in this movie. But it doesn't sound right. So I'm wondering if that's his voice, or I've heard they have some actors set aside to play Leia when she's younger and Luke to do backstories. So if that's true, that may be that character talking for him. Or who knows, maybe maybe Luke Skywalker's son, and they are pulling our leg kind of, and they have some kind of storyline where it's Luke and Leia, you know, Luke's son, and you know, or Luke and Leia, you know, or maybe it's maybe not Luke's son, but Leia and Han's son, or son and daughter. Who knows? I mean, I know they did that in the old EU, so possibly they're doing something like that in this movie, even though they're not strictly following that. This is J.J. Abrams' vision of it, you know, how he's doing it. It looks really good. I see some of Abrams' work there, and it's awesome. Looks like it's actually accentuating Star Wars and not hurting it to me in any way. I think people are just skeptical because it's not George Lucas, but I'm actually refreshed seeing the new touches he's making on it, and I heard he's shooting it on film, you know, to get the old look from back in the day on the first trilogy, the first 3 films. To me, I think it's magnificent so far. I can't wait to see how it's going to come about. Kylo Ren, they show him wielding the saber there, and as you can see, it's not a blaster, I don't think, as everybody keeps saying. I really don't think they're exhaust ports because, from what I understand, plasma is so hot you couldn't be in the room with it. It'd be worse than blowtorch or anything. It'd be like being near the sun. It has to be contained, the containment field due to the old lore. I'm sure he'll stick with something like that, so I doubt those are any kind of special exhaust ports. In my theory, what I had from when I first saw it was it does look supercharged, but I think it's probably an earlier sword from their medieval history, you know, where the Jedi Knight actually wore armor like a knight, you know, like hence the word Jedi Knight, instead of a later century dueling era where everybody's wearing cloth and fighting with rapiers and dueling type katana weapons, and that's what the lightsaber evolved into. I think at one time possibly maybe it was something a little more extreme and wielded in armor. So we don't know. Maybe Kylo Ren's got some type of armor, although it's looking like it's more cloth-like in the video. Its mask definitely looks like some kind of armor, unless he's been wounded like so many Siths have been and has to have some kind of a life support system, although I'm assuming that's armor as well, like on Vader and so on. Seems like there's a lot of stuff that looks ultra chromish in it, though, because I noticed that the one stormtrooper or pilot, when they were flying through the Star Destroyer that was crashed on that planet, which the planet, from what I understand, is not Tatooine. It's another planet. I can't remember the name off the top of my head, but Abrams was quoting it saying it's a different desert planet. And then we have the planet that looks like Hoth, where you see in the original trailer where Kylo Ren pops out his saber, and you see the crossroad or Quillians where everybody panicked the first time that happened. And that's supposed to be a planet very much like a Scandinavian type planet. That's what they've described. So that's quite interesting to me, you know, like something up north and you know, where the old Vikings used to live. So hopefully there is a little European touch to it, because that's what we would really like to see in it. You know, a lot of it was based on stuff kind of like Hidden Fortress and the Samurai, and you know, a lot of the stuff like you can tell by the names like Obi-Wan Kenobi, you know, Qui-Gon Jinn, you know, all the stuff that they've used, you know, almost sounds, you know, as like an old Japanese tale. Not that there's anything wrong with it, but it's have more of a saga, you know, where it's like such a large universe. Should be awesome. Really looking forward to it. If you all haven't seen, we've actually done 4 videos testing out the cross-guarded lightsaber, or lightsaber with the Quillians on it. And we've done 4 of them. I will put a link in here with a playlist that has all 4 on it. It's going to be quite popular. Our main one, of course, is the original test video where we just dip it in paint. I dip a cross-guarded sword that's actually quite heavy. I mean, it's the weight of an actual historical European sword, and wield it to prove I don't get hit with it. I actually got acknowledged an email by Jet Cooper that helped design the lightsaber. He's the main designer, I believe, with J.J. Abrams and team, thanking me for making the video. So it ended up on a lot of news sites, and surprised the heck out of me how quick it went up, you know, in popularity, the first test video we did. And I noticed Bad Robot had liked it on Twitter and retweeted it. So we know, everybody knows Bad Robot is J.J. Abrams pretty much. So thank you out there, J.J. and Jet, for sending me the email thanking me for doing the video, and that you did have that envision of it being a very European or medieval idea. I can actually find an example in Talhofer's of a Quillian or bladed crossguard is what it looks like. It looks like it's sharp, like 2 blades. So I mean, it has been done historically, or apparently for dueling. But be sure and like us on Facebook. We have the Thrand and Eldgrim's Well of Remembrance on Facebook. We also have the Thrand YouTube Boat Crew, which is a private group. You can get in there real easy if you get along with people real well and you like posting about history and different subjects, anything you want, pretty much, that you might want to see on our channel. Be sure and hit me up on that one. Be sure and like this video if you can, and subscribe to us here at Thrand, T-H-E-G-N, Thrand. Of course, you're on the channel if you're watching the video. Help us on Patreon. That's where we keep getting better and better content for you, try to get good stuff out for you. And hopefully we'll be around for a long time to come and be able to bring you better and better content. And I'm really looking forward to Star Wars this Christmas. It's going to be the ultimate Christmas present or Yule present. That's all I can say. So see you all later, and farewell.